As the film starts, we see the scene of Amazon stream. In a boat, there was a hunter. He was asking for someone to assist him. That boat divides into separate parts. That hunter was on the top of the boat. But when he couldn't find help from anywhere, he commits suicide. He kills himself. Now from here, the scene shifts towards a hotel. There a girl, Terry, and a doctor were living. They were fond of making documentaries. They come to the hotel of the Amazon because they have to make a documentary on Amazon. There lived a weird tribe. And the doctor was interested in that tribe. There were other people also with Terry and the doctor. This means a photographer. Then they all take him to their boat. He tells that I search for the snakes on Amazon and sell them. They also tell him that we are going to search for a tribe. The man says that I know that tribe. I can guide you to that place. They take him as a guider. They were happy that they find someone who will take them to that tribe. Otherwise, we will be lost our way. That guide says to them that I will take you from that way from where you can reach there soon. It will also be beneficial for me to go there. Because there are many snakes. But they are without poison. They will not harm you. Now they move forward. But then one of the men falls down in the water. He couldn't swim and can't breathe. They somehow save him and pulls him on the boat. There was a weird insect in his mouth. He couldn't breathe from his mouth. Then a hole was made in his neck. So that he can breathe. They think that his condition is worse and we also can't go back. Because now we are near to that tribe. Then they all think that there will be some solution the tribe people had. At least they also become sick, they will know how to treat the patient. With it, they move forward. But they see that there is a huge hurdle in front of them. This means while collecting or joining a lot of woods they have closed that path. There was an aged man in that boat. He says to them that it is not a problem. We have much dynamite, we will blow it. And we will move forward. Then Terry says that it will be dangerous, but that aged man doesn't listen to anyone. And he does the same. When there is a blast in the water, many creatures of the water come to their boat. Many snakes were also in them. But that guide says that don't be scared, they will not bite you. Just throw them back to the water. Now they all throw snakes down in the water. But during this, they made a mistake. Their petrol drums also start falling in the water. They try to stop them from falling. But they couldn't stop them. Now they have only one drum. They were worried that how will we go further with this petrol? But even then they move forward. Moving forward, they find that boat which was seen while destroying due to a spirit. That was the boat of that man who was screaming for help. But he has died. They take many things from his boat. Now the man who was sailing their boat also moves towards that boat. But on his way, a huge anaconda comes out of the water. It surrounds that man's body. It even breaks his bones. It has held him tightly that he even can't scream. That anaconda kills that man in few seconds. There they all were waiting for that man. Because they don't know that what had happened with him. That aged man was so mean. He says that we should move forward. I've heard that there are anacondas also. We will hold them and sell them through which we can earn a lot of money. And if we will stop like this, we couldn't do all this. Terry says that stop, wait for one day. But that aged man has joined the guide with him. They say that we will together hold an anaconda. Terry becomes worried. Because the condition of her friend was also worst. This means that doctor. That aged man points a gun at them. I don't come with you without purpose. I have to catch an anaconda and you have to accept this. Being pressurized, they all get ready to support him. But we see that the condition of the doctor was better. On the other side, that aged man was setting a trap to catch that anaconda. He successfully set the trap. And the anaconda stuck in his trap. That man was happy. But that anaconda will not be stuck so easily. It will not come into their hands. It was strong and comes out of the trap. It starts attacking everyone while coming to the boat. That aged man tries to make it faint while shooting it. But he fails. Terry was about to shoot Anaconda. But that aged man stops her. And he says that I want an alive anaconda. Otherwise, I will not get money. Now it happens the same about which they were scared. Anaconda was mad with anger. It holds that guide. And breaks his body. Here that guide was also killed. That aged man again points the gun at everyone. And he says that just keep listening to me. Otherwise, I will kill you. At least, I can feed Anaconda. Terry gets an idea, she entraps him. From behind, that reporter attacks his head. Due to it, he gets faint. When he comes to his senses, his hands were tied. The boat stops while sailing in the way. They were coming down from the boat so that he can find help. But that aged man was still in the boat because he was tied, and there was a girl also. She goes while taking a knife to that man to kill him, because these all problems were just because of him. But that man was nonsense and clever that he hits with his leg and presses her neck. The knife which that girl has, he opens his rope with it, and he gets free. On the other side, Terry and the photographer were together in the water. Meanwhile, Anaconda was about to attack them. They immediately go in the boat. Coming upside, when they were about to kill Anaconda, that aged man again stops them. Then that photographer falls in the water. Anaconda surrounds his body, and it was about to kill him. But then Terry shoots Anaconda. She shoots it many times. Now finally, the Anaconda was dead. Seeing it, that aged man becomes aggressive. He was about to shoot Terry. But then the doctor arrives there, and he makes that man faint. They move forward with their boat while throwing him in the water. Only 3 people have left: the doctor, Terry, and that photographer, because others were killed by Anaconda. And they left that aged man in the water. Moving forward, Terry sees the petrol drums there. When Terry and that photographer go to take the petrol drums, then that aged man arrives there. And he wasn't dead. He attacks them. When they come to their senses, they were tied the same as him. Here that aged man plays a trick. He throws blood on Terry and the photographer, so that Anaconda will come here and eat them. Anaconda soon reaches there. It surrounds their bodies. But that aged man was in a hurry to catch the Anaconda. He throws a net on it. He shoots it many times to make it faint. And I will hold it. But Anaconda was so strong. It comes out of the net. Now it follows that aged man, because he tried to kill it. At first, an Anaconda surrounds that aged man. It breaks his bones badly, and then swallows it. This means who done bad with others, at the end bad will happen to him. On the other side, Terry and that photographer were free. They start running. But Anaconda was also following them. The photographer attacks Anaconda. On the other side, Terry has arrived at the top of that place. The photographer sets Anaconda on fire while sprinkling petrol on it. Due to this, the fire spread at that place, and that place blasts. Terry and Anaconda both fall in the water. That Anaconda was still burning, because it was set on fire after sprinkling a lot of petrol. It again starts attacking Terry. But then the photographer hits an axe on its head, and that Anaconda goes into the water. They go back in the boat. The doctor's condition was also better now. They move towards that tribe. There they make their documentary, the work for which they basically came. With it, Anaconda Part 1 ends here. Now I will explain Anaconda Part 2. In the starting scene, we see 2 hunters in the forest. There was also a lion, and it attacks one of the hunters, and he falls in the water. But then something in the water pulls him down, and the scene changes from here. We see a man who is in a meeting. He has taken money from some investors. He stated, with this money, I will develop anything. Means I will discover something. Everyone was telling him that he hadn't yet invented or discovered anything. So return our money. If you can't do this, stop your research here. We will not give you more money. That man says them to wait. I have discovered a flower, and its name is blood orchid. The human can stay young while using it. He also tells them the location that where they can find it. This place was an island. They moved to go there. There was an assistant of that researcher named Sam. They were told that the weather will be rainy, and our boat is no advance to go there in rainy weather. They contact a boy, Bill. His boat was advanced, and he can take them easily there. Bill charges a lot of money to take them there. But that researcher had to bring that blood orchid flower at any cost. He agrees with him, and they move to that place with some team members. As the night appears, the rainstorm was increasing. Bill becomes worried and goes to talk to them. He says that how can we move further in this weather? Then that researcher's man says him to take more money. Because now we can't go back, you somehow take us there. Bill has to accept it, because he has taken a lot of money before. How can he go back? Well, they move forward. But the next morning their boat also starts damaging. It wasn't moving. While walking they reached the place where it was the cascade. This means their boat while sailing in the water is about to fall down. It happens the same from which they were scared. The boat falls down from there. The boat was broken. The things which were in it get spread. The things of the researcher and Bill were also broken and damaged. They all were worried. They sit at the shore. But then Bill says, "Don't worry. Here I have a friend who can help us." They manage to establish contact with him, and he responds by stating, "I will charge $2,000 for it. And the place where you want to go, I will take you there in 10 hours. But to reach that man they have to go through a dirt path. There gathered a lot of water. They pass from there." Bill also had a pet monkey. It's scared and climbs up a tree. This means it has felt some danger. Then we see that a man among them who is at the last. Something from the water pulls him down. And he died in few seconds. That thing was none other than a huge anaconda. They all get scared and run from there. And sit at a place. Bill says that we have to reach there immediately. From there my friend will take you to that place. Some were saying that we have to move from this place immediately. The man of that researcher says that no, we will take that blood orchid flower. They move forward. Meanwhile, Bill notices that there are insects at any man's back. In fact, these were leeches that were sucking his blood. Bill separates those leeches from his body. When that man again wearing his shoes, there was a spider in them. Then Bill's companion tells him that if I will not see it at the time, that spider will bite him. And you will be dead. The researcher's companion took him with him. For experiment and to show the people. To tell them that, see, I have brought a poisonous spider. Now the scene of the other side is shown. Means the man who was the friend of Bill and will help them to reach there. He hears some voices from the water. He sees that there was an anaconda. It kills Bill's friend badly. His boat was also destroyed. There was a huge blast due to the blast of his boat. Bill sees the smoke of that place. He understands that what has happened. When they all reached there, the boat was destroyed. Bill's friend was also killed. This means their last hope is also finished now. They pick up some things from that destroyed boat. That was fine. Then they move forward. Bill's companion tells them that moving forward there is a tribe. Maybe they can help us. But when they reached there, they couldn't see anyone. There was just a dead anaconda. Maybe because of these anacondas the people leave that place. Bill says that we have to do something ourselves. So why don't we make a boat for ourselves? Then the companion of the researcher sees that there is grown a blood orchid flower. He calls everyone and says that I come to know that why the anacondas of this place are lengthy and strong. They couldn't die. I think they eat blood orchid flowers. He says to them that there will be more flowers like this and we have to search for them. They say that there will be anacondas more than flowers. Do you want to make us killed all? He forces them and makes a boat. On the other side, the researcher was seeing the things of his companion who kept that spider. The researcher comes to know that he had picked some things from the boat of Bill's friend. There was a phone in it. But he didn't tell anyone about this phone. He asks him that when he had the phone and we can call someone for help. Why you didn't call or contact anyone? That man says that yes, I can contact. But what do you want? That someone comes for help and we will go from here. Then who will search the flower? I have done this for you. That researcher says that life is more important than flowers or money. You have done a great mistake. Now the companion of the researcher becomes aggressive. And the spider which he throws on him. That spider bites him. The condition of the researcher gets worse. They were about to move from there. But the researcher didn't arrive there yet. His assistant Sam goes to call him, but she sees that he is paralyzed. She goes out in anger and says that who had done this to him? Meanwhile, an anaconda arrives there from behind. It swallows that researcher. Now that researcher was killed. On the other side, the companion of the researcher means that bad boy who made him bite by that spider. He sits in the new boat and goes from there while leaving them all. Sam says that we couldn't make a new boat now. Because we have nothing. We have to go there through the forest because that bad boy has gone to take the flowers. That bad boy contacts with his team. And tells them that his boat has fell down. After it, I haven't seen anyone and maybe I am an alone survivor. Because he wants to search that blood orchid flower and goes to his team with his credit. But during this, Anaconda attacks him and pulls him in the water. On the other side, when they all were going from the forest, they meet Anaconda. The Anaconda starts attacking everyone. Now when it moves towards Sam, Sam cuts its head. The forest was full of anacondas. One more anaconda arrives there. It holds one of the men. It was about to swallow him. But Bill sees it and immediately hits its head. Due to it, that anaconda dies. And it leaves that man. And it was a miracle. Otherwise, that man will be killed by that anaconda. That bad boy also reaches that place where were those blood orchid flowers. Other people also reach that place while passing from the forest. They were about to go back while using the boat of that bad boy. But that boy feels it and he returns. He points a gun at them. He hits Bill's head and makes him faint. And asks others to come with him. That bad boy points a gun at Sam. He says to her that there are anacondas further. Do whatever I say to you. You will go from here and put those flowers in this bag. That bad boy wasn't putting his life at risk. He was putting the burden on Sam. Sam have to do this. While taking the bag, she starts plucking blood orchid flowers. But then the tree starts breaking. Sam immediately throws that bag of flowers towards that bad boy. But then Bill also comes to his senses. He attacks that bad boy. The bag which is in that bad boy's hand falls down. A spider comes out of it and bites him. Due to it, he starts becoming paralyzed. Then he falls down. Anaconda took him with it for always. Then due to the broken tree, Sam also falls down. The attention of those anacondas was before to that boy. And they were about to eat them. Sam hurriedly escapes her life and moves from there. But then an anaconda diverts its attention towards Sam. It was about to eat her. But then Sam's companion throws fuel on its face and sets it on fire while shooting it. Then there was a huge blast. That place was started breaking. There were cracks in the soil of that place. And it goes down. All anacondas go down in it. And the soil falls on them. All of the anacondas have died as a result of this. They were on the upswing, so they boarded the boat and took off. They were saved because no anaconda was left. They believe that no matter what happens, we will bravely return home. With it, Anaconda Part 2 also ends. Thank you for watching.